Yeah, to be fair, with some of the episodes that did air, this is hopefully one of the better ones. I guarantee it's going to be one of the more exciting ones as we go into the draft. And we can see for OPPAI Gaming, they are now currently hovering that Xennial ban. We saw Xennial banned out previously also. Everyone's seeming to favor this now. We've seen the presence he can have, how much of an effect in teamfights that Angelic Splendor can have. And I think that level of respect has definitely been earned by Xennial, so the ban is not really a surprise in that regards, and someone who we definitely the way the respect has definitely been earned and the ban is definitely seen is Superman. But now we go on to the picks. We see a Kilgroth pick up here now for OPPAI Gaming.
Yeah, and I'm actually glad that these guys are respecting Xennial like that. You know, we don't on NA. Nobody plays him as much. He's not banned. He's not worthy. But at the same time, as we're talking about plays and stuff, not many people know how to play him properly. So that is a thing. It did take me a while to get him as well. But it is great to see that. And as we're going out, Kilgroth is finally coming back on the board, making his debut, bringing out his wonderful punish. And we already know he's probably going to go with the Scorching Wind build off the bat. And Zill's coming out again. We've seen the baits with Zill happening. Goes in. And honestly, that's another strategy I haven't seen on NA either that is really good, is where he actually does go in, he ults, and he uses his escape rather than going in with it, committing, and then he's stuck there. That's actually much smarter than what most stills I've seen have done. But if we look over on the side of PowerRangers, they're going with the very strong side of Zephys, Teamy, Joker, and Jinnar. Joker and Jinnar are already, the double J's as I like to call them, are going to be very bad alone, because we've seen Ultimate, we've seen what Jinnar has to bring to the table, so depending on how Joker plays this out and how far back he can play. Also, if he sticks with the punish build, that would be even more curious to me, for I have actually not seen that in action yet. And of course, OPPAI Gaming is going to clear that out with bringing out the Preda again. We've seen what Preda could do. So Preda and Zill working together, interesting combos. Kilgroth does his own thing for the most part, jumps in when he can, and Thane is about the only one who I would say can effectively defend Preda at this point. Preda seems to be more of the focus that they're working on, while Zill does all the cleanup along with Kilgroth going with his split push. Whereas if we look at PowerRangers, Irie's there, again, mobility coming in. Jinnar's going to be there for those wonderful team fights when it's coming to that time. Teamy going to be making those play, and Joker just going to be sitting in the back there. And thank goodness, all right, there was just a switch, so it was Irie who's going to go with the punish build. That's completely fine.
Yeah, they weren't going to confuse us that much. I think the Kilgroth pickup is pretty significant here, because if you look at the team lineup here for OPPAI Gaming, they have two really high damage dealing mages in Zill and Praetor. And if you have to itemize around them, if you have to build your Gaias, your medallions, that's going to leave you vulnerable to the attack damage of Kilgroth. And when it gets to that mid to late game, if you find yourself alone with a Kilgroth, you are probably going to die, particularly if you are a Jinnar or a Joker and you don't have your mobility on off cooldown. Now, where the Kilgroth may struggle is against the flickers of Joker and Jinnar. You can see that they've opted for those to get themselves that little bit of extra safety. But if Nirvana is used by Jinnar aggressively, he won't have that to get himself out of dodge. The way that Kilgroth can get himself around that and help himself out is the fact he has got that punish build. So he will be building that frostbite, and that will give him a slow against his enemies. And he will use that in conjunction with his ultimate to actually chase down people and to manage to secure those kills in team fights. The Thane is going to be having to do so much work to keep that Praetor alive. He's going to be in bodyguard mode because Praetor, especially like we said in the early to mid game, not the high damage dealer that you're going to see him in the late game. And before he has his ultimate in particular, and while his ultimate is still relatively low, he doesn't have that security that he will have when he's feeling confident in the later points. So the Thane will be looking to peel to stop the Joker getting onto his carriers, to stop the Zephys diving onto his carriers. And as soon as that Zephys dives in, he'll be looking to push him out of the team fight. If they use the Thane to initiate, look for Nirvana and the Zephys to kind of just dive towards the back line the second they see that Thane out of position. So as a Thane player, he's going to have to be in bodyguard mode more so than initiation mode, and he's going to have to leave the initiation up to Protector on that Malok. But OPPAI Gaming now, they've got themselves in those bushes and they're ready and waiting for this game to begin.
And they're really running a risky pick here. You know, as much as I know, OPPAI Gaming has a chance. Definitely has a chance. You can see they are going to start off aggressive. They are going to do this. Thane is going to kind of be that bodyguard that you were talking about. But overall, it's a risk because of their win conditions and because that mobility that they have to fight against. Or if Thane overcommits, you know, like you said, Zephys and Jinnar can just bypass him. Then that one opportunity for protection has gone by. So they have to be really careful about how they go on things. They do want to keep that aggression, but they really want to nitpick. If they can grab someone early, that'd be great. But as we know, as Teamy, as you can see right now, he is the moving ward, and Thane actually is going to try and butt heads with him. It's going to be a toss-up in the air for the first at least 3 minutes of the game before someone can get a solid pick on each other.
Yeah, I think both teams have people they want to protect, people they don't want to play aggressive, and then they've got certain picks that will work well. Now, Zeal, as far as junglers are concerned, he benefits a lot from stacking his item. In the early stages, he will deal damage, but it won't be the burst damage that you're looking to produce. So a lot of the times you'll see Azil fairly nervous about committing hard against team fights unless he knows he can pick up a kill or is on someone that he knows he can actually do significant damage to. Now you can see the OG team making their way towards this top lane now. PR Blue is going to take a sword to the face, but it won't do too much of a damage. Soul Stealer used to generate the health there or generate a shield there for Murloc. Meanwhile, we saw Sentinel taken. On the bot side of things, normally we've seen Abyssal be in the focus around that 2-minute mark, but at the moment, Joker and Kilgroth just kind of farming the lane, keeping it fairly just farm worthy. Hermes picked up for Thane, so a very roam-heavy Thane approach going to be used here, less defensive. Often you're going to see the Gilded Greaves or the Sonic Boots picked up for a Thane, but they're actually going a little bit more roamy here. And we do see the Abyssal Dragon stolen away there by the Power Rangers. Great work from them, as we see Nirvana used as well, and we can not underestimate that ultimate in these AoE situations. And look how healthy Yellow is on that backline as well as Black. Great work there. Ton doing a great job of keeping people at bay and managed to get himself a double kill for his troubles. So that's 2 kills to the 1 kill of that OPPAI currently has. So Power Rangers currently in the lead, using the power of their Zords, in fact, to get themselves that early advantage. Now, not quite at 1k in the lead, but that Abyssal Dragon is definitely going to do work for them.
And right there, the one thing we were afraid of is exactly happening right now, where Team Edem was able to zone them out, and Zephys took that chance. He was aggressive. He knows what he wants, and so he did steal that dragon. And of course, Nirvana coming in to just push through. But what I do want to point back was a little bit further back there, where OPPAI Gaming was putting pressure onto the Zephys, and that was to get his. Although you want to try and get it and you couldn't get it, they were still able to get his frostbite off, and that's really good because you can take objectives with that. And you can see right there, Jinnar and Teamy taking the lead again, and look at that, they have so much health that they can just go in and take most of it. But overall, OPPAI is being aggressive, but the aggressiveness is just being met with a lot of these counters from Power Rangers every single time.
Yeah, what we're seeing here is that OPPAI Gaming, they've got a tower right next to them, but they're for some reason fighting just out of reach of it in that jungle. Over and over again, a little bit of miscommunication maybe from the side of OPPAI Gaming, because their positioning in that scenario wasn't the greatest. You can see there the charged up Pooty Poots into the Chain Lance was used by a Ton, and it forced Zeal to dash out back behind his own tower. Meanwhile, Yellow starting to pressure this tower, doesn't have the most damage from his attack, auto attacks, so just a couple of little hits before he has to back off. What I want to draw people's attention to is Yellow in these team fights. He is standing on the back line, waiting for the initial CC to land, and then he's just charging headlong into the enemy with his Nirvana. Black, meanwhile, has been caught out on his backside, but will just dash himself out of the way. Killing Joke used decent damage coming out from him already in these early stages. Gilded Greaves now landing on Blue and Relax. That's going to keep them a little bit safer and give them a little bit more resistance towards the CC of the OPPAI Gaming team. OPPAI Gaming now focusing this Abyssal Dragon as well. We can see the Power Rangers hovering in the background, and the threat of the Power Rangers was enough for them to for OPPAI Gaming to back off and reset that dragon.
Yeah, and as you can see here, like, they're constantly going at each other. Things trying to meet up with this Teamy, but it's just not happening, and Malik is putting the pressure that we want to see. But look, right here, that was the perfect time for Teamy to just do his Pooty Poots, and the entire team's going to come out of there. And again, Jinnar did come from the back line and just decided to Nirvana all of them. But this time OPPAI Gaming was a little bit more ready. Malik was able to handle most of that, and he is going to fight back, but also going to get picked off as his other teammates run away. And Kilgroth, you know, he's still not at the stage where we want him to be, and so he's trying to farm. He is going to lose his turret to the Joker, though. And it's to the point where OPPAI Gaming is kind of starting to meet these engagements, and Power Rangers is seeing that, and they're taking advantage again. We're seeing how, you know, right now Teamy and Jin are the shining MVPs of what's happening, but it's OPPAI Gaming needs to look at this a little bit more in a defensive light. They might be going for that aggressive pass a little too much. They kind of abandon the Dragon at the moment, and for good reason, but they need to give time for Prey to get his items at least. Like, at this point, you want to not like completely turtle, but don't take those engages just right now.
Yeah, I've got to say, if I was Protector there, I'd have been a little bit frustrated with Hudas. Hudas, playing that Kilgroth, left the lane to go and try and defend bot tower against the Joker, leaving Malok to die, in fact, 2 versus 1 in the mid lane. Didn't manage to actually save that bot tower at all, and in fact, the mid tower ended up getting pressured pretty hard and is almost completely gone at the same time. So that was actually a little bit of a mistake in positioning, because had Hudas stuck around, it could have been that maybe Malok managed to get himself to safety, and they could have at least defended this mid tower, even if they did lose bot. So whilst it felt like it was the right decision, because of the sheer amount of damage put out by Joker on that bot side tower, it wasn't a worthy choice. We can see Shock's now come down at perfect positioning onto Ton. Ton is going to do what he can. That will be the King's Glory used, but it won't be enough to keep him alive. Does do great work. Blue now, the sole survivor in this top lane, will try to dash themselves to victory potentially, or at least to safety. Does manage to secure a kill, sees Yellow coming in on the back line as well. Will manage to pick up Ice Frog, who's backing in the bush. Nirvana will be used at the same time. This is great teamwork coming out from the Power Rangers. Blue still alive, managing to do great damage, and stuns from the back line will be picked up by Protector and the Spectre as Yellow backs off. I like wordplay, that was great there. Praetor managed to pick up that kill on Tiari, but look at this bot side tower. Power Rangers, they know exactly where the focus is. They are keeping themselves objective-minded as they push another tower down, their 4th of the game.
And looking towards Joker, it doesn't seem that as much as you thought they were putting pressure on him, he is doing exactly what Joker should. He's poking it from the back. The rocket does so much damage. And, of course, Kilgroth being in lane with him probably wasn't the best option, you know, as we've seen before here. And Zill right there taking that chance, speaking of Joker. Right, look at that rocket. There's so much damage. But, of course, sadly, Joker can't block AP. So, of course, he's going to get shredded through that. And Dane was there to support him on that. And it's those picks that they need to be making. You know, they're keeping the ADC in check right now. But then again, you have Zephys here. And it's like when OPPAI makes one move, Power Rangers is there to make 2 more, is what's happening.
Yeah, you did see the Zephys there playing very aggressive and driving the enemy jungler out of his own jungle. Zill had to dash away several times just to get himself to safety. And they did manage to pick up another kill in the mid lane there as well. Now with the top lane pushed and the middle lane pushed, Kilgroth is the only person doing work here for OG, but that does mean he's not available for team fights. He should be able to take this, but that is actually 2 members, Black and Yellow, both coming down. This is going to do... Ooh, Blue is going to dash over the wall, trying to secure that kill. Does, in fact, manage to do that. Omniarm's going to be picked up by Black as well on that Joker. And this tower may well go down. Ton playing defense. The dashes are coming out from Blue, but not going to be enough. Ton was thinking about doing the chain lance to get back in there. I don't think that would have been the wisest choice for him. Probably a good thing that didn't land, in fact. Meanwhile, we can see on this bot side, Black and Relax just doing what they want as they go through the enemy jungle and clear it out.
As we're getting into about 9 minutes in the game, this is the part where they're going to team fights is going to be happening more. Relax is going to be going in for that aggression once then. You see Preda in the back trying to do damage, but his positioning is a little off. As you can see now, he went from the back, moving all the way to the front here. And Malik doing what they can at the front side, but Jinder's going to go in with his ultimate once more, clearing it through the wave. But this time, Kilgroth's getting involved with the fights. Gets too low. Joker is able to clean that up. And look at where Jinnar is this entire time. He goes in with the Nirvana, but then he goes right back out again.
Yeah, the hit and run tactics across the board from the Power Rangers have been actually really good. We've seen, like I said, objective focus. Despite all of the action, despite all of the team fights and the kills that are going in their favor, they've always had the towers in their mind. So regardless of whether they manage to get a kill or not, they are pushing people away from the towers. They are stopping OPPAI Gaming defending effectively. And if they can stop them defending, that's a success. That's a win. It doesn't matter whether they get the kill or not, they are winning the game. And speaking of winning the game, they now turn their attention to Darkslayer, the biggest objective in the game that you can get to help you win the game. And we can see here that's going to be taken very comfortably. The rest of OPPAI Gaming suddenly realizing what's going on, but they weren't there in time. Zill and unable to challenge for that. So with Power Rangers now having this Slayer buff, how do OPPAI Gaming go about defending this effectively? Obviously, we know they need to turtle. We know they need to put the work in. But with people like Hudas on the kill graph, is there any sort of split lane tactic they can do that's going to be effective? As soon as I say that, then OG trying to get themselves back out to safety, but that's a lot of damage picked up. In fact, Praetor managed to pick up the kill there onto the Joker, but the combination of the rest of the PR team are going to pick up the kill onto the Thane, so that returned. That's going to be one less person to defend, but they still have that Praetor at least, as the Nirvana comes out from Jinnar, goes in, and that is going to be huge damage combined with the shock. Legendary now on that Zephys. Zephys doing some serious work. Relax, got no health at all. He is taking tower shots, but Ton's going to tank them for him. They do have a small minion wave here. That will be enough to weaken the base, but that's going to be cleared up by Hudas. Hudas now the defender, but the rest of the team slowly spawning up as they go into another team fight. Nirvana is used somewhat defensively. Yellow so low on health, will go in trying to get Frog, but will take a tower shot for his troubles and will go down, but it doesn't matter because with the minion wave pushing from the top, that is going to be game going over to the Power Rangers. They will have done Zordon proud today. GG. JB, I'm sorry I spoke so long at the end there. What are your thoughts about that game?
No, but I do need I can't stress this enough, and I think this is the perfect time for everybody to listen to this. If there's Dark Slayer, I know this may sound so simple and just kind of weird, but you really can't do anything if you aren't able to get in sync with your team. You have to turtle it. You need to stay at your base towers, not the tower in front of it. You have to stay at base because they can gank through you. And as we saw right there, I was going to say that they had the chance if they commit to it, and they did with the Kilgroth. The problem was they stayed a little bit too long. They were trying to get on Teamy, which was actually a wrong choice, which gave Power Rangers time to come back through that. And then, of course, we saw the infamous 1-by-1, everybody goes down. And Jinnar on this server is just proving right now how strong he is. And that new ultimate, what they added to him, it's the perfect essence to his kit that they needed, and it's amazing that it was going through. Overall, it was still a good game. OPPAI gave it their best shot, but in the end, they actually did fail on the biggest part, which was the Darkslayer Turtle strat.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Some sound advice and sound words there from JBZ. And we can see there the scores just reflects just how comfortable Power Rangers felt throughout that. I'm slightly disheartened that Ton and Relax didn't take up the mantles of red and white and represent the entirety of the Power Rangers, but I'm sure that will come with time. We can see that just how... I also want to point out how that blue has exactly 10,000 gold. You couldn't do that twice, even if you tried. I'm just saying. You finish a game with exactly 10,000 gold. Impressive stuff from the Power Rangers there. Well played to both teams, though. We still have one more game.